All right, who's ready for the Valley's geekiest, in-depth, crazy, detailed weather video? We call it Weather for Weather Geeks. This is the edition for Valentine's Day, February the 14th, 2017. We're halfway through the month, and so it's a good time to check in on how we're doing so far this month, and we're 5 degrees warmer than average here in Youngstown as far as temperatures go. And this calendar view looks a lot like January did. We had a little cold snap during the first week of January, then the pattern for the rest of the month was largely warm. This month, more of the same. We had that 3-day colder than average stretch from the 2nd through the 4th, and almost every day since then has been warmer than average, with the exception of last Friday. So the beat rolls on. This is, this is how the pattern has been this winter. Most of the time, warmer than average. Some of the time, for a couple of days here and there, it can get cold. All right, time-lapse video from Boardman today. Beautiful time-lapse here, showing some high cirrus clouds moving in before sunset. Made for a great sunset right before 6 o'clock. There it goes. Our sunset's, of course, getting later at this time of the year, and we will hit 6 o'clock officially for our sunset time on Friday. Our first 6 o'clock or later sunset in several months. And, of course, we're only a few weeks away from daylight saving time returning. That means our sunsets will all of a sudden head into the 7 o'clock hour in just a few weeks. That's, I believe, the first Sunday in March, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I've been touching on this, of course, a lot this winter, that despite the perception that it hasn't snowed hardly at all, officially, where the records are kept at the airport, we're still above average by 2.6 inches. Notice Cleveland's 20 inches below average, Buffalo's 25. I did put a lengthy post on my weather blog this morning, ericwfmj.com, detailing kind of why I think winter's been kind of the way it's been, what's been driving it. Has it been climate change? Has it been something else, some large-scale mechanism somewhere across the globe? So read up on that. I think you'll find it interesting. I'll also take a look into the crystal ball and tell you what I think is going to happen for the rest of winter and heading into the spring season. ericwfmj.com. That's my weather blog. I think you'll find that post from this morning pretty interesting. All right, we've got a cold front coming our way. This is the front that's going to bring winter back for a couple of days. What the radar looks like in Michigan right now, with rain and then eventually snow showers, is what the radar should look like here in several hours as this cold front heads our way. It's still mild this evening. We're in the 40s when I record this at 7:48 p.m., but that won't be lasting much longer. Here comes the front. We'll pause this 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some raindrops and eventually some snow showers working through. I don't think this will be highly impactful. I think your morning commute tomorrow will generally be just fine. Maybe a flurry around. That should be just about it for tomorrow morning. And actually, during the daylight hours tomorrow, I don't think any snow showers that will be around will be very impactful. Temperatures will be close to freezing. These will be real hit or miss in nature, so not looking for a lot of impacts during the day tomorrow. It's tomorrow night and early Thursday as temperatures cool. It'll be after sunset, and there'll be more numerous snow showers around that I think these can be impactful. There'll be these fingers of snow that are enhanced by the lakes, starting tomorrow evening, lasting through the overnight and into very early on Thursday. And then by Thursday afternoon, they're gone, and may even see a little bit of late-day sunshine on Thursday. And then that pattern-changing warm front comes our way on Friday. Friday, a real transitional day. We're going to start cold, upper teens Friday morning. But then by the afternoon, we're already north of 40, and the sun will be out. It'll be a nice afternoon after that cold start, and that'll pave the way to the much-advertised, beautiful weekend we have coming up. All right, with some lake enhancement, there'll be a zone of maybe 4 to 8 inches from Andover area up in Ashtabula County, heading over towards Meadville and Crawford County, up into Erie, PA, maybe Jamestown, New York, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus counties, the usual suspects when you have some lake-enhanced or lake-effect activity. When we zoom into the local area here, this isn't going to be much for a lot of us as far as the actual accumulations go, but as I preach a lot of times, focus on the impacts, and a little dusting of snow, the wrong time of the day, if something's untreated, can lead to slick spots. So coating to an inch should just about do it in a lot of this gray area, which includes Mahoning County, Lawrence County, a lot of Trumbull County, except the northeastern corner. When we look northeast of Youngstown, I think from Kinsman south and east, you could pick up a couple of inches. And then in the darker blue area up here in the northeastern corner of Mercer County, you could see 3-4 inches in some spots out of this. And again, as you continue heading north on 79 up into Crawford County or east on 80, you might run into some higher amounts in some of the higher terrain, continuing east on 80. Most of that, again, tomorrow night and heading into early Thursday. Whether you get an inch or nothing of snow, everyone's going to be cold and it's going to be windy. we were close to 50 today. These are the afternoon wind chills tomorrow, close to 20. So it's going to feel a lot colder tomorrow. It'll be a winter jacket day. The air temperatures not much above 30 or 32. So temperatures hardly move at all tomorrow. So that'll be a biting wind tomorrow, and it'll stay pretty blustery into Thursday. So morning wind chills on Thursday, probably no better than the single digits. And then by Thursday night into Friday, the wind will diminish, but the air temperatures will be pretty cold. So you're not going to see a big difference between the air temperature and the wind chill. But those actual readings on the thermometer Friday morning will be down into the teens. So another morning for the winter jacket before that warm-up pushes in. Real quick, want to touch on the West because I think this will be of national weather story interest over the next several days. It's been a very, very wet winter in California. They've taken a huge chunk out of the drought. Good news, right? Well, it's been too much at one time, in one season. So another big storm's heading into the West Coast, I think, at the end of this week. Some parts of California and up the West Coast could pick up 5-10 inches or more worth of rain, and of course there'll be a lot of snow up in the mountains. So this is going to be a national story you're going to see on the national news shows again at the end of this week. Flooding out west. All right, I intended to show you the longer range climate model, but I shut my browser down, so bear with me for just a second while I call that up. I actually recorded this video once already, and my mic was not on. So this is my second time recording Weather Geeks this evening, and in between recordings I accidentally closed my browser window. So let's head over there, and let me pull up the latest runs of the CFS, the Climate Forecast System model, and show you its ideas here in the longer range. It's a blowtorch over the weekend and early next week. Highs near 60, flirting with records, especially Saturday. Saturday's record is kind of low-hanging fruit. The record's 59. We could definitely challenge that on Saturday, but we're going to be close to 60, if not a little higher, through at least Tuesday of next week. Then as we start looking beyond the warm spell, or the blowtorch period, the climate modeling here, if my internet will catch up to me, shows that at the very end of February and into early March, that first week of March, eventually, if it decides to catch up with me here, you'll see, hopefully, a colder weather pattern trying to settle into the eastern two-thirds of the country. And it looks like my internet is just not going to catch up here. So anyway, I do think that March can start out a little bit colder, at least closer to average. It's not likely to last through the entire month, though. I think March as a whole, we're only halfway through February, but I think the writing's on the wall that March is likely to be another warmer than average month, even though it might start a little more seasonable. So look for more updates on the longer range, of course, as we get closer to March. That's it for tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Hope to see you tonight on 21 News at 11, and back here for another edition